Ohayou gozaimasu, ohayou gozaimasu, ohayou gozaimasu. It's another glorious and awesome day in the Lord. I want to read this morning out of Romans chapter 8. And I'll start with verse 9, where he says, "You, however, are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if indeed the Spirit of God lives in you. Now if any man does not have the Spirit of Christ, he does not belong to him. And if Christ is in you, though the body is dead because of sin," we know that sin, when it's full grown, brings forth death, right? And God spoke to Adam and Eve, or he spoke to Adam first, and he said, hey, if you eat of this tree, you will surely die. Sin brings forth death. The body is dead because of sin. But the spirit is alive because of righteousness. You might think, oh man, sometimes we feel that way. Oh, wretched man that I am. I think that's in Romans chapter 7, actually, 6 or 7. Oh, wretched man that I am. Who will deliver me from this body of death? Oh, so awful. Oh, we are wretches in the earth. And then you forget to read the rest of that one that says, I thank God through Jesus Christ my Lord, who will deliver me from this body of death. That wasn't Paul crying out saying, oh, who will ever help me? Of course, who will ever help me was our cry. And God's cry was, Jesus. Jesus will help you. He will deliver you from this body of death. But now let's get to Romans 8, verse 11, where my point is here. It says, but if the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you, the one who enacted the most amazing and powerful work ever, if his spirit lives in you, he who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies through his spirit who lives in you. He will give life. He lives in you, so he can give life from the inside out. But he will give life, or some translations say quicken your immortal body. And the word there is Zoopoieo. Zoopoieo, that sounds like it's a lively word, right? He will Zoopoieo your body. Or Zoopoieo, maybe it is. He will give the life, his own life, his nature and quality of life to your body. You know, it's springtime now, and it's the time when life springs forth. That's why we call it spring in English. It springs forth from the ground. You look and you see the green shoots and stuff, and the flowers start coming out, and everything looks wonderful. And then it's kind of fun when the baby animals are all born, and you see them all skittering around and stuff. It's exciting and it's full of life, because life involves growth. Life involves improvement. If anything is bad, if anything seems dead, if anything seems decrepit or not the way it should be, even in your body now on the earth, he still says, he who raised Christ from the dead, Jesus was dead. He was dead. He had like a stab in his side. He had holes in his wrists and his feet. He had bled out. He was completely dead physically, and God raised him. Jesus is doing quite well right now. I guarantee you he does not groan and complain when he gets up in the morning. He is doing quite well. Why? Because of the life of God. God raised him from the dead. I reckon he's even smiling right now. And that same God who raised Jesus from the dead, his spirit lives in you, and he gives that life to you today. I believe today that I am getting better, I'm feeling better, I'm growing and improving, because the life of God is given to me today. In fact, maybe I'll start the expression, Zoopoieo. Anytime I'm tempted to feel a little down, or a little like my body's not working the way it should, or things aren't going the way they should, I can just shout out, Zoopoieo, Zoopoieo, Zoopoieo. God's life is given to us. Amen. Be blessed.